If your marketing strategy is post consistently and hope, this is going to change the way you see your marketing strategy forever and get you way better results. Posting content is not a strategy, it's one part of a marketing strategy. And that's why growth feels really, really random for you. So I want you to stop seeing content as your marketing strategy and see it as a tool in your marketing strategy. For context, I run a paid ads marketing agency and also an online community. So I spend every single day not only looking at my own business, but so many other businesses too across different niches. We're constantly looking at stats from traffic to leads and sales and also funnel stats. And 9 times out of 10, when we see issues arise in a business, it has nothing to do with effort and more about structure. So first up, let's talk about why people confuse content with a marketing strategy. Because that's what most people are taught to do, right? You're taught how to post, be consistent, chase trends, keep up with the algorithm. But very rarely are you taught why you're doing it or what should happen after. So what happens is content becomes the goal, not the vehicle that moves you towards your goal. You don't ask yourself, what happens after someone sees this? You just ask yourself, did I post today? That's not strategy, that's just showing up. Only 1% to 5% of your audience are actively looking or ready to make a purchase. So just as an example, if we go for the middle ground, say 2.5%, if you had 1,000 followers, only 25 of those people are actually ready to buy. Now, if you're selling high ticket, 25 buyers is great, right? But if you're not selling high ticket, then you probably thought, oh my God, that's hardly anything. What am I going to do? Most business owners, when I ask them, how many buyers do you actually get from social media or how many leads are you getting? They can't answer that question, which is crazy to me because they say to me, I need to fix my content. And it's like, how do you even know that if you're not looking at this? Your content could be completely crushing it, but because you're not looking at your overall marketing strategy or what that should be, you just always assume content's the problem. So let's dive into it. This is the real job of marketing. It is not just to entertain people on social media. It is to take someone from a stranger to interested to buyer to repeat buyer. Content helps a lot with the first part, but your system should handle the rest. So let's break down this full system together today. The goal of traffic is to do the first part of the funnel that we just mentioned, which is to get strangers to find you and be interested in you. You can of course do this with your content, you can do this with ads, you can do this through collaborations, but most people are doing this with content. And I'm not just talking about social media reach here, I'm talking about how much traffic from your social media are you sending to your website, your landing page, or your sales page, whatever it is, the core place that you want people to go to. So the first things to assess are 1, do you get good reach on social media? And 2, do you send enough traffic from social media to where you want people to go? If the answer is no, then this is the first part of the funnel that you want to fix. Without traffic, you can't really measure the rest of your funnel if not enough people are going through it. And I'm going to break this all down for you if you don't understand what I mean. Another way, if you want to boost traffic, is you can actually run ads straight to your Instagram page, and you can do this from as little as like $3 a day. You don't need to have a massive budget. Of course, the more you spend, the more traffic you're going to get to your Instagram, but you can still get started low cost. My thinking is always something is better than nothing, right? Next part of the funnel is leads. So if lots of people are seeing you, but they're not entering your world, you're just borrowing attention basically. Leads are different depending on industry, so you need to decide what a lead means for you. It could be a DM, it could be someone opting into your email list, it could be somebody booking a call, somebody submitting an application, whatever it is for you. The mistake a lot of people make is they think their followers are leads. They're not. Getting followers is just a signal that these people are interested in what you're talking about. They're not necessarily a lead. So what I want you to ask yourself now is, when someone finds me, what is the very next step? Is it obvious? Is it easy? And does it happen consistently? If you don't have a traffic problem, so when we went over traffic, if you've looked and you thought, I have really good traffic coming to my page, but people aren't joining, they're not messaging, they're not inquiring, whatever it is, then leads is your leak. If you're not getting a lot of traffic, like say you've had I don't know, 5 people over to your website, your landing page, or your sales page, really hard to judge because you just haven't had enough traffic. Next part of the funnel, of course, is sales. This is where most people assume the problem is. We hear all the time, people just aren't buying. But most of the time, that's not the reason why. It could be because your audience are confused, or again, it could be because you have a traffic problem. It could be that you're just not getting enough eyes on your offer. And again, I'm not talking about your Instagram, I'm talking about your actual offer. So let's break these two things down. If your audience are confused, they could potentially be confused about what it is that you actually sell, who it's for, how it helps them, or what the next step is. Sales isn't about convincing people harder, right? It's about removing as much friction as possible. So look at your sales process honestly. And what you want to ask yourself is, do people understand your offer in under 10 seconds? Is there one clear next step? Are there maybe too many options and they're overwhelmed? So that's the first thing that you want to check. Next, let's talk about conversion rates. A lot of business owners don't check this, and it is so frustrating because a lot of the time your answer is in the data. It's literally right in front of you. A lot of people think that they have a sales problem, but really the issue is that their expectations are a little off. Let me give you some rough benchmarks for conversion rates. Of course, the industry that you're in is going to affect this, so make sure that you look this up and get really specific to your industry. First up, low ticket digital products. For these, a good conversion rate is usually between 1 and 3%. So what that means is that if 100 people land on your page, 1 to 3 people will buy. So if you're getting, say, 50 visits to your site and no one's buying, this doesn't automatically mean that your offer is broken. It just means you're not getting enough traffic yet. So if you're getting 50 people and you have a conversion rate of 1%, that is 0.5. So that is why you don't have any sales. If it was 3%, then that would be 1.5. So you should have 1 sale. Next up is e-commerce. So again, very, very different across niches, what the product is and things like that. So definitely research your industry. But average conversion rates, again, are between the 1 and 3% mark. We do sometimes see like a lot higher if the brand is strong or they have really good repeat buyers. So again, you might be thinking people don't want my products, but you could have a traffic problem as well. Obviously, make sure you check your conversion rate. If you are below those benchmarks, you want to look at increasing them. Next is high ticket offers. Again, these work so differently depending on your strategy. We have some clients who are closing in the DMs, closing on sales calls, closing from live webinars or challenges. So you want to look at the benchmarks for your mechanism, whether that's DMs, calls, webinars, whatever it is. You want to make sure that the right people are coming in, the offer is clear, and that the process is really tight. If your conversion rates are low, then those are probably the things that are affecting it. This is why sales can't be looked at in isolation or just based on content, right? Because if you have low traffic but good conversion rates, you're still going to have low sales. If you have high traffic but low conversion rates, you're going to have low sales. If you have good traffic and a good conversion rate, that's when sales become predictable. So this is why we always zoom out and we look at the whole marketing system, not just content. Next up is follow-up. Now, this is where a lot of businesses are leaking money, and it's not because they're bad at business, it's because sometimes following up can feel uncomfortable, right? You don't want to seem pushy, you don't want to feel like you're chasing, but flip it around. That's not what you're doing. You're simply following up on a conversation that somebody started with you. A lot of sales don't happen on the first touch point, and that is something that I want you to remind yourself of, okay? You can't expect to convert everyone the first time they message you, see you, go to your website. So what I want you to ask yourself here is, what happens after somebody shows an interest? Is there a system, or does it rely on your memory or your mood or how motivated you are on the day? For a lot of our clients, they have DM setters here. So if you're in high ticket, this works really, really well. You have someone who is in your DMs, managing it all for you, having the conversations, following up, booking them on calls or converting them in the DMs, tracking it all for you so that you don't have to be involved in that process. For other clients who aren't doing high ticket, retargeting ads work really well for them. Basically, what retargeting ads are is you are saying to Meta, These are all of the people who have been on my website in this last time frame. You could do 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Here is the ad I want you to show them. So you can create a specific ad targeting the people who have already checked out your offer, they're already interested but didn't go over the line. This is like a real low-hanging fruit with your ads, and usually the easiest people to convert, and a way to show up and remind them without posting like a maniac. Another really good way to follow up with people is, of course, emails. If you are capturing people's emails, make sure that you are utilizing your email list. It converts a lot better than social media. And of course, you can schedule your emails so you can get it done for the month in one day and forget about it. Next up is tracking. If you don't track what's happening, you're guessing, which is why a lot of people automatically go to content. Content's the problem. I need to change my messaging. I need to post more. I need to post something different. But if you're not tracking what's going on in the whole journey, you could be completely wasting your time. Like I said, your content could be doing amazing, but you're falling short in the other areas. Guessing is what turns business into an emotional roller coaster, right? 1 month feels good, the next feels awful, and you don't really know why. You stress yourself out, you think it's your content, you go round in circles, and you send yourself down the route of burnout. Tracking doesn't have to be complex dashboards or spreadsheets. You can do it in whatever way works well for you. All of my spreadsheets for the things that I track are so basic, like they're not fancy. You wouldn't look at it and get excited. It's boring. Tracking is simply knowing where people come from, where they drop off, and where does the revenue happen. So can you answer, how do most people find you? How many of them become leads and how many of them become sales? If you don't, you need to start tracking this. Which leads me on to the next point, which is optimization. So optimization is not changing everything, it is fixing the weakest link. When people struggle with sales, they try and change everything. They change their content, their messaging, they launch a new offer, and they're really overwhelmed. And if you're not consistently tracking and optimizing, no matter what offer you drop, what content you change, you're going to find yourself stuck in the same position, which is really frustrating. You don't want to try and improve every single little thing at once, right? It gets confusing. A lot of people, like I said, will try and change their content, their offer, their emails, their pricing, their branding, the platform, all of the things, which is why nothing really improves. Like I said, real optimization is boring. You want to just look at your funnel, find the bottleneck, so where you're leaking the most, and fix that first. When you only change one thing at a time, you learn a lot faster, things are a lot clearer as well. I recommend checking in on your stats every month if you can. Just block out one day to yourself, you don't even need a whole day, and make a note of what you're going to change so that at the end of the next month, you can look back and say, okay, over the last 30 days, I made this change and this is the knock-on effect that it had. Then you can make an educated decision. You can either say, okay, this bottleneck has been fixed, or it needs to be tweaked slightly more, we're going to try this next. Or if it's all good and it's working, you can move on to the next things. So it might be that over the last month you worked on improving your conversion rates, now you want to improve your traffic, for example. So the truth is that most business owners don't need new ideas, they just need fewer leaks and to fix the whole system and not just obsess over content. That's why I built the Profit Engine Reset. It's completely free and it's a 7-day inbox experience designed to help you look at how people find you, where money really comes from, where things are leaking, and what to focus on next. It's not content prompts, it's not trends, it's actual clarity on your business. It's short, it's practical, and it's really designed to help you get in your business instead of shiny object syndrome and getting distracted by content and all of that sort of stuff. So if you're done guessing, the Profit Engine Reset is linked below for you to grab. Like I said, it's completely free. And if you liked this video and found it helpful, it would mean the world to me if you could like and subscribe. If you have any questions, drop them in my comments. I will do the best to answer them and help you as much as possible. And hopefully I will see you in the next video.